This is Vomiting Rainbows, episode number 39. And, I think in this episode we talk about a lot of things. We talk about subs. We talk about cereal. We talk about...
This is like it was a food podcast
it
episode.
It was a food podcast. We talked about what exactly swatting is.
Mm-hmm.
So
my shit credit.
Your shit credit. And we actually now know the credit company that's collecting your debt. And then the other thing that we talked about as well was the fact that you should really be careful on what you're pulling up from a fishing line.
Right, you never know when there may be a drunk 22-year-old naked fish
on the end of your fishing line.
Yep.
So listen to the stories and enjoy.
It'd be rad to have a radio show when you're like people who talk in their sleep. You just record them.
Okay.
And like the whole show is just people talking in what they say.
That would be a good show.
I hear the secrets that you keep. The secrets that you keep.
That's a good name for a show. I can't see you, but
I'm
also not talking into the microphone.
Are we really?
We're live streaming right now.
No, but I mean, are we going to do this whole show
with the glasses on?
Yeah.
No, that's not going to work because I can't read my notes, and I definitely can't do it by memory.
I didn't know they would be this dark.
They really are this
They're
dark.
Extremely dark.
Yeah. You didn't look at the sun, did you?
No, man.
You didn't.
I didn't trumpet.
You didn't get to see the eclipse.
I woke up at like 9:30 and opened my shades, and it was super foggy, and I went back to bed.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Because I mean, I think that's better that way. Because otherwise, I would have risked my health, my eye health. Ow! What the fuck?
I was just.
I'm taking these things off.
All right. I was just making sure you couldn't see.
I thought that was Ben, about to eat my face.
Yeah. So this is Vomiting Rainbows, episode number 39. It's
we need a sound effect of something really cute puking.
I can work on that.
Okay.
I'll get on that. Yeah. Maybe that's just what we'll do.
Just put some reverb on it.
All right, I'll put some reverb on it, and maybe I'll take it up a couple octaves.
What is the cutest thing? Because I was just bumming and Doug showed me YouTube videos of hedgehogs. And
isn't that a cute thing?
No, it is. I was about to say, I was trying to, in that moment, I was like, is there anything cuter Doug could have showed me?
I
wasn't.
I mean, all right, just to caveat this, we just watched the president's speech in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And it was, I would say, mildly depressing.
Well, it's like dark news.
It was.
We could have a political topics this whole show, and it would completely fit with the dark news concept of the horrible darkness of our world. It
was so depressing.
So back to hedgehogs.
Yeah. So anyway, because of the Phoenix, us just watching the president,
right?
We decided that you need to be cheered up.
We didn't decide that.
I decided.
You didn't even search for it. You had some weird bookmark of cute hedgehog videos, which I'm not gonna lie, as cute as it was, is kind of creepy as you try to dissect it a little bit.
Hey, I mean, everybody has their armor, their ammunition to cheer people up.
Yeah. Let's call it that.
Yeah. So I had a hedgehog to.
No, I mean, I appreciate it. This is my way.
What
of
are you trying
thanks.
to say, Joe?
I'm saying thanks.
All right, I'm just saying,
and I'm also saying it's interesting because you look at the different avenues of cute,
right?
And there's cartoon. So I'm like, all right, does My Little Pony, or a burnt, would that be cute? But I feel like an actual live baby animal is above a cute cartoon. You know what I mean? Because it's real.
It's real. But there's actually a study that shows that if you look at a cute baby animal every day, it actually changes just once a day. So I have a friend who's a neuroscientist.
Yeah.
And he has on his phone, he puts a different cute baby animal.
It's like an app. It's like cute baby animals that pop up as your desktop pattern.
Speaking of cute baby animals.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's
really, hold on a second. It's really weird to make that reference when people don't know what you're talking about. Because you could have just pulled out your dick. like that was your cat who fell off a box.
Okay.
It wasn't I mean, this is the thing with radio. If we're not careful.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, That's why I have you here to keep me in line.
Yeah, the cute baby animal was Ben,
Falling off
Doug's cat, which is not a baby, but is a very cute animal falling off of a flamingo floaty box. With really great picture on the cover.
It really does, doesn't it?
That's what were we talking about?
Vomiting Rainbows.
No,
episode 39.
No, but specifically we had a. Damn it. There was a specific like pathway of a topic. It wasn't even like the show yet, but there was like a thing happening that you were saying.
That we were coming up with a new theme song or a new sound.
Just very recently, like the most recent thing that you said prior to.
Dude, we're like two.
Wait, why were you talking about cute furry animals? I mean, after the cute furry animal thing.
I was talking about that because it supposedly changes your mood.
Right.
It makes you happier.
The neuroscientist. Yeah, that's well, let's finish that.
And it can
topic.
actually help
this
you.
Is interesting.
It can help you live longer.
So your buddy has a different desktop. Like
he changes it like once every once in a
while. And that is making him happier.
Yeah.
On like a neurological level.
Exactly.
How is that? How do you prove that? They did like a study of 100 people in
you'd have to
like
ask
a hotel room with cute animals, and the other ones had to look at dragons.
Yeah, I'm sure there was like a double-blind study.
Interesting. We were just double-blind with those things.
Yeah, we were.
Which to explain.
Well done with the eclipse. We were trying to. So we were doing the live stream, and so we put the eclipse glasses on, and couldn't see anything. And then I tried to punch Joe in the face with.
Oh God, that's what was happening.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. And to clarify, so that an eclipse, which is has no percentage of cute, right?
An eclipse?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Right. It's not cute though.
No, it's not cute. It's planets.
Like what? I don't like. Why does it?
Why is it what?
Well, like, is the definition of cute something that you would want to like hug?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you see and you're like, oh.
Yeah, like you wouldn't hug a moon, but you would like look at it and be like blown away.
Now, when the moon has the little bullet in its eye, then you're like, oh.
So is there something cute that you can't hug?
Something cute that you can't hug?
Like, I think that's. I'm trying to think of a good cute definition.
Well, I mean, I don't think you would want to like hug the little hedgehog. It would.
Well, yeah, that's a very specific. I don't know though, man. Like if you pet it in the right direction, I feel like you could.
Yeah, you could pet it, but if you like try to hug it.
But think about that for a hedgehog. What kind of life is that? They never get to be hugged and they're super cute. They're like the ultimate fucking hypocritical thing of sadness.
It's like really
it's
adorable.
It's like the ultimate example of sadness.
It's adorable and
no one can touch it.
No,
and it can't be touched.
Right.
It just wants to be touched.
It just wants to be held. It just needs to be loved.
Hedgehog massages.
Yeah. So anyway, I tell you 3 stories that you know nothing about.
And by the way, my voice right now, I'm like, I wish it were in the sweet spot, which when you get a little bit sick, you can get that gravelly thing, but I'm not. I'm in the nasally thing.
Right, I noticed.
So I'm sorry about that.
Well, it's all right.
It's almost bittersweet because I feel like I'm close. If I just made myself sicker, then I could be like, the dude in
raspy.
Roadhouse and Big Lebowski, Sam, what the fuck is his name? Sam Jones? No. Yeah, I could be like that guy.
Great.
Sam Phillips? No. But I'm just like
let's just keep going down the Sam path.
It's got a nasally thing. So anyway.
Yeah. Well,
you're welcome.
You the other option you could do is you could just start chain smoking.
Right this second. How many cigarettes do you have to chain smoke?
I don't know. Probably a lot.
Yeah.
And it would take a while before your voice got gravelly.
I'm not going to do that. Do you know that Doug has Jolt Cola caffeine mints?
I do.
That's like crazy, dude. You don't even need to smoke. Huh?
Well, I mean, if you like want to like a little boost, back then I didn't drink coffee. I just happened to have these down here for quite some time.
So those are like old school Jolt. It's not a throwback thing. These are like a 1994 mint.
No, those are like 2 years old.
Oh, okay.
Not that old.
Because Jolt Cola is gone, right?
Yeah. Oh, no. It's still around.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've seen it in years.
No, it's definitely still around.
I feel like the lightning bolt is like the world's greatest logo. Flash, David Bowie, Zeus. Like there's not a better iconic logo than the lightning bolt.
Thundercats.
Thunder fucking cats, dude. Hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Storm kind of, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Maybe we should Maybe it should be vomiting rainbows.
Can we? Yeah. Can we? We have to earn that. I feel like though.
Yeah, you'd really have to earn that.
Earned love is more important than just love, man.
I was listening to My Favorite Murder today.
I don't know what that is.
It's a podcast.
Okay.
Really good podcast. If you haven't heard it, definitely listen. But they did a crossover with Anna Faris and her podcast.
She's cool.
And one of the things that she does is before she does the next episode, she will Skype somebody. They get to they say like ahead of time, hey, if you want to be on the next podcast, write us with like what you want to talk about. Anything. And then we will like put you on via Skype.
We should make this podcast a podcast about trying to be on her podcast.
Ooh, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Or maybe we do an episode.
Maybe episode
next week's episode is
but
the
hers
attempt
is like
to try to be on her episode.
Her podcast is like love advice. So
hey, man.
All right.
That could be a good example of failures in that realm.
Let's do it.
That was a little violin.
Yeah.
Let's play for myself.
Again, the sound effects on this podcast are just amazing.
Blah. Now you have two options for the vomiting rainbow.
Perfect. All right. So, have you ever gotten one of those calls from the IRS where
Dude, I have horrible credit. Can you say that?
Yeah, you can say that.
I'm not going to get in trouble.
No.
No, I don't know if I have bad credit, but I just recently tried to get a credit card and I didn't get it, and I was like, "What? How am I not approved?" So I don't know. And then I had mail that I had like an old health bill that went to the wrong address like 5 years ago, and I did some research and I found out that it had gone to collection. And so right this second, like this week, I'm trying to be like, listen, I have proof that you sent it to the wrong address.
Right.
You never sent it to any of these addresses that I've been like getting mail. So like, what the F?
Right.
And they haven't gotten back to me. And so I'm sitting here with like probably pretty bad credit because of like a $500 thing with my knee 3 years ago.
Right.
It's crazy, dude.
It's
so
crazy.
yeah, I've had some fucking trouble.
But it would seem
I guess that's not really IRS though.
Yeah, but it would
kinda
seem like your healthcare company has your phone number, so wouldn't they just call you?
No, because it was so I don't know. I don't understand because it was around the time that I switched healthcare plans, so I think it must have fallen through the cracks. That's giving it the benefit of the doubt, or they just didn't call me. I don't know.
All right.
But needless to say, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But have you ever gotten one of those calls where they're like, "Hey, you're going to go to jail unless you pay immediately"?
Well, I get those.
But they're like scam calls.
I think so.
Yeah.
How do you know?
No. Well,
do you want me to play one off my phone that I got yesterday?
Do you really have one?
Is it gonna? I hope it's not gonna give away. Hold on.
No, dude, that would be amazing if you do.
I for sure do. I just don't know if it's gonna if it's personal info on here.
Let's see if I have one.
On,
I know. I've got I had heard one.
Wait. Well, we can't both look. One of us has to be doing something.
All right. So anyway.
Well, you.
So
are you
basically, no, you go. So basically, it says that there's a warrant out for your arrest if you don't call.
Yeah, no, I got this exact thing, dude.
Yeah, and it's pay your tax discrepancy, which is always a lie because the IRS only sends notices and letters, and then they put a warrant out on you for arrest. They never.
That's what they actually do.
They would really do that, but it's highly unlikely that they would do that. They would notify you, whoever prepared your taxes, all of those things would happen to happen
I found
first.
it. You ready for this?
Yeah, turn it up. Is that Freedom Rock? We'll turn it up.
You can't hear that, can you?
No.
Hold on. Let me keep talking.
All right.
That was plain.
Is an attempt to collect a debt. This is Nationwide Credit and Collection with a message. This is a voicemail from a debt collector and is an attempt to collect a debt.
That's the person.
Please call us at 888.
Dude, that's the credit. That's your debt problem. That's not the IRS.
Wait, so this is real?
Yeah, that's real.
No.
Yeah, that's real.
Dude, don't F with me on this.
I'm not effing with you. That's real.
Wait.
I'm not kidding.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, let me. All right, you talking my? I'm telling you, you seriously.
Wait a minute.
That's real. That's not a scam.
How do you know?
I can tell.
Do you? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you got. That's your debt thing. Let's see if I can find one.
But why would it be, dude? Why would it be automated?
What? That they're like always automated. Like
They don't
because they
have
never.
the time to like.
No.
Son of a bitch.
So yeah, but anyway, basically what they do is they call you up and they tell you that you have an outstanding debt and that there's going to be you're going to be arrested and all this stuff. But what happens is that it's a scam. They're trying to get like your information and all this stuff,
Yeah.
and it's sweeping the U.S. This guy Thomas Allen Grossman was in his home in Palm Springs when he got a call from one of these scammers, and he's
Automated.
Well, no, not an automated call. The guy actually came on the line.
Okay.
And when he started talking to him, he's actually a tax attorney or an attorney.
Yeah.
And so he just started laying into the guy.
The
And
scammer.
The scammer.
Yeah.
Cussed him out. And then the guy hung up on him.
Yeah.
So about 30 minutes later, in another part of Palm Springs, there was a non-emergency line at the police, Palm Springs Police Dispatch Office. Richard Robinson picked up the line for the fire and rescue, and the person said, "I need help. I need help. I just got in an argument with my wife. I got angry and I pulled a knife and stabbed her in the stomach." Robinson said the guy had a foreign-sounding thick accent, but he seemed to be crying and he was very distraught, and he was very unusually precise. He gave his name and address 3 times with the unit number. He came back to her and he said, "Is she still breathing?" And he said, "No, I think she died." In an instant, the police were dispatched to that apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
The first officer, John Meha, a 12-year veteran of the Palm Springs Police Department, within 3 minutes was on the scene. But just to kind of keep that person at that location,
Right.
he called them back because the person hung up. So he called them back just to keep them on the line and kind of just like make sure that he was occupied while the police were arriving. And he said he called that person's home. The police were surrounding the house as he was talking to him. He said, "Hi, this is Palm Springs Police Department. Is Thomas Grossman there?" And he said, "This is me, Tom Grossman." And he said the guy had no accent, didn't sound like he was crying. He said, "Okay, Mr. Robinson, do you have an emergency there?" And he goes, "No, why?" He goes, "I'm just trying to understand what's going on. Someone just called and said that there was an emergency and that somebody was hurt and wounded at your location." And he said, and Grossman, the attorney, said, "I think I know who you're talking about."
Wow.
And he goes,
What?
he goes, "Does he have an Indian accent?" And he goes, "Yeah, he did." Grossman described how he had cursed out the phone scammer earlier with a heavy accent. And now, and he said, "That guy was nuts and hung up on me." Now Robinson was a little concerned because there was an entire SWAT team outside of his house.
Oh, my God. Wait, the phone scammer called this dude in that he killed somebody?
Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
Is that like a thing?
Yes, and we'll get into it.
What the F, dude?
So police officers rushed into his home. He was in his underwear. And the cops forced him to the ground. And they said, "Oh, no, hold on." They said, "You need to follow my instructions. You need to step out of the house now." And he said, "Okay, but just to be clear, if you look at my records, I have no wife. So he had no wife. And
that was the call. The call was that someone had killed their wife?
Yeah.
Whoa, dude.
And so then the police banged on Grossman's door, demanding he come outside. He was just in his underwear. The police, he put down the phone because it was a corded phone. I don't know why he had a corded phone. But,
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the sign of a sick mind already. But anyway, he shouted at the cops that he wanted to put some pants on. They told him to come out immediately or he could be shot. Grossman opened the door. He found himself face to face with a police dog, and several cops with their guns pointed and drawn. He was ordered outside. He was pushed to the ground, cuffed with his hands behind his back. At this time, Grossman tried to explain. He's talking about the phone scammers, that they had tried to say that there was a murder, that there was no murder, but
he doesn't know that was true. He just thinks that was the case.
What? Oh, no.
Grossman has no idea that the phone scammer called this in. He's just assuming it.
He's just assuming it, yeah. But it's pretty clear. The police thought he was a raving lunatic.
Grossman.
Yeah. And they didn't buy his discussion at all. And thus becomes a 3-year legal battle that is still in the federal courts today.
They couldn't just trace the original 911 call to like the scammer's line?
No, he used like voice over IP. So the police searched his house. They found no crime, but they did say that there were hoarding levels of boxes and papers.
Well, yeah. Welcome to anywhere, dude.
Right. So the officer Meja, who was the first on the scene, said he tried to put this all together in his head: the mysterious call, the messy apartment, the ravings about the IRS. Grossman, he thought, must be mentally ill. He probably called 911 himself with a fake accent to report a crime that didn't exist. And once caught, he tried to come up with like some government theory.
Why would the police go that far? Because they felt it was so outside of the ordinary that he would be saying what he originally said?
Exactly. Huh. They just didn't. I mean, even you, for a moment, it's like, really, the phone scammer?
Yeah, no, it's pretty extreme.
Right.
But I mean, if there's no proof otherwise, though, I feel like it also seems like a stretch that they would go to the other side of the spectrum.
Right.
Like, I get why they wouldn't believe the phone screener, but to go all the way down to this guy's crazy. And maybe that's part of it, is that he was so sure of it. Then they're like, what do you... Yeah, I don't get it, dude.
So
but this is a thing, kind of.
Yeah. So Grossman tried to explain that the explanation of the phone call and the hoarding was that he had actually just moved out of his legal offices and was looking for a new place to set up shop. Why
gotta explain the hoarding? Give him a break.
And he was like, they were neatly stacked boxes, and he was getting ready to move into a new law office. He also said he was on the line with 911, and they actually had determined who had come up with pretty much who they thought had done the call. Mm-hmm. And he thought he would be exonerated right then.
Well, here's the other thing that I feel like someone looked over. Even if they hadn't, and all they knew was that someone had covered their IP, right? Isn't that super suspicious and does lead... I mean, I guess if he did it to himself, then maybe they assume that's equally suspicious, but I feel like that's a huge question mark. Like, who calls 911?
But the other thing, too, is 911, they can trace every call.
Right.
But this guy called the non-emergency fire and rescue line because he knew exactly that. Right. He had done this before. So instead the officers mocked him and made jokes about people with mental disabilities, and the court documents confirm that the Department of Communication Law and the police officers were even texting belittling Grossman. One officer texted, "Hey, maybe we could get this guy a full frontal lobotomy."
Good God, man.
And then the another officer responded on a group text, "Let a licensed professional handle it. Let's just get out of here and keep your knife in your pants."
Jesus.
when the taunts were over, they gave him one of two options: go to jail for making a false 911 call, or go to the hospital for a psychiatric hold.
Dude, this was night of.
Night of.
Yeah.
So
See,
he's
messed
still
up,
sitting there for hours. They won't let him go to the bathroom. He's been sitting on the ground for literally hours, and then they tell him these are your two options.
So screwed up.
Even though Grossman said it really didn't make sense, he if he was mentally ill, why would they give him the right to choose?
Right.
Right. But he said he thought the hospital was a better option than jail.
Yeah.
So he said under coercion, he was handcuffed.
So he opted in. So by doing that, they made him like opt in to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said, we can shoot you or stab you. It was like a no-win situation. And so all of his residents were now on the street watching this all go down. And then he was walked the entire block to a car at the end of the street in front of everyone. He was held at the Desert Regional Medical Center somewhere, I guess, in Palm Springs for 30 minutes. And then the police became aware of the 911 caller calling him, and also the dramatic difference in the voices, sound clarity in the background. They actually listened to the call, and then were also able to tell that it came from an unregistered number, and his number would have come up either as blocked if he had blocked it himself,
Right.
or as his phone number.
So that'll happen night of. Why the hell did it take 3 years?
No.
That happened 3 years later.
That happened within 30 minutes. So, and then he was released from the hospital. Well, hold on. Let's see. Hold on just a second. Deep. This is just not cooperating. Notes.
No notes.
Yep. Okay. So the dispatcher later admitted that the incident, he thought it was a hoax, but he was not on scene. So he had even though he spoke to the police, he didn't.
This is the dispatcher?
Yeah, he felt like it wasn't up to him to say, this seems to be a clear hoax.
Right.
He's like,
it wasn't his call.
Yeah. So he said it was up to the first responding officer to determine whether or not. And he said, quote, not like I'm making low of myself, but my opinion really doesn't matter, he said. I can think that cranberries are blue, but unless I'm in front of the cranberries, I don't know what they are.
Doing his job is to get someone there to check in case
Exactly.
something bad happens, so that's fair.
When the cops finally realized it was a hoax, the police officer sent word to the hospital. The Mija returned Grossman to his home and began to investigate who was really behind the 911 call. As they were there, he got a call again, and at that point, the police officer asked to pick up the phone.
He got a call on his home phone.
Right, and then
while he was in prison, someone called his home again.
No, they just dropped him off at home.
Oh, so right as he got back home, it rang again?
Yeah,
and the cop has to answer.
And the cop said, I want to pick up the phone. They immediately recognized the accent. And the guy said, is this Thomas? And then Mija said, no, you're speaking to, obviously, a Palm Springs police officer. And the man hung up and never called back.
Wow. Dude, what was he going to say?
I don't know, but probably
what's up now?
Yeah.
What's up now, bro?
Exactly.
What are you?
Who's the funny guy now?
Look at them apples, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so basically...
What a...
Yeah, so now, while they believe him, this is still all in court.
When you say this is all in court, he's not being... They're trying to nail the phone scammer, right? He's not being charged with anything, I'm assuming, right?
Well, they're not saying that it's not. They haven't released
They still
him.
haven't.
Yeah,
Oh my, that's insane.
I know.
They don't have enough proof already, or it needs because he was taken in. Like it has to go through that.
Yeah, it's got to go through this
process?
process.
And then do they have any other potential suspects?
No.
Oh god, dude, poor dude.
Yeah, so he's basically in hell.
It's horrible because that story started off so exciting. It was like, oh man, someone got all that junk mail and mailed it back to him. Those
Right.
jerks. And then it totally backfired in his face for
Yeah.
being the person we all want to be.
So what that term is that's called swatting. And
Who swatted who? The scammer swatted the dude who
Yes.
put him in his place.
Exactly. So swatting is
So
where
this is a thing. This happens.
it's happened. It's on the rise all across the U.S. And it's not only people who are like are phone scammers, but scammers are the ones who tend to do it the most. But they've just seen a spike in this across the U.S.
Crazy.
Yeah. So imagine this: you get pissed at somebody and you hang up on them, and then they fucking look up your address, find out who you are, and then call up the police and say you killed someone in your house.
This is like it's Verizon at the core of this.
Yes.
And T-Mobile. This
Yeah.
basically is a long way of saying like get a cell phone
Yeah.
because a landline is
Never
cell
get a
phone's
la-
not
yeah.
in a phone book.
Exactly.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean,
Google Voice. Just have everything forwarded from Google Voice.
well, yeah, it's just so crazy how like the person is already being a complete jerk by trying to rip someone off. Then on some level, shouldn't they just be like, all right, you got me. Like,
Yeah.
cool. Like, hang up. You're being yelled at. Hang up halfway through because you don't want to deal with it. But then you try to, like, nail them? It's insane.
Yeah.
You're the one in the first place being the total
Yeah, you're
asshole.
being a dick, and then all of a sudden you're going to like try and like fuck up their life.
But this is, I guess, the thing with
yeah, but or
the internet or
potentially
whatnot. Like, there's no way of... But there's got to be a way. I don't understand
or
why you
potentially
can't
get
trace
them
that.
killed.
Well,
like
yeah.
I mean, there's a SWAT team with guns, like
But
real
so-
ammo.
So doesn't this come back to like the cell phone tower thing? I guess that's only a timestamp. Like it doesn't have more information because I guess this is the slippery slope of if we had NSA was more involved, then we would have that person's
Right.
info. We don't want that. But don't they, like in listening to Serial, don't they have like cell phone tower information? But it only has the number, and if the number is blocked, it's still blocked in that cell phone tower. Is it only a timestamp?
Well,
Like if they really wanted to, couldn't they track this person down?
yeah, but it's not a. He used voice over IP,
So what does that mean?
so he used like Google Voice from like India or like Skype or something like that,
Right.
where there's no.
So there's legitimately no way of tracing that.
Well, there's not no way, but
It's more difficult.
extremely difficult, and probably not something the Palm Springs police are going to get involved in. Not saying anything negative about
the
Palm
Twin
Springs.
Peaks of 2017 is breaking through voice over IP.
So, do you want to hear?
Dang, that was a good story, man.
Isn't that crazy?
There wasn't any like death.
No,
There wasn't
there's
any
no
like
death.
there wasn't blades and stabbing and like blood. That was really nice. That felt great.
So, are you ready for our next story?
See, is there a way to like that was great and it was interesting and I feel like we were like I know what voice over IP is now. I
Yeah.
feel like I learned a lot. I know honestly, dude, I've never learned this much in such a short amount of time, maybe in my life since being an adult when like things, spread out a little bit as far as learning. When you're a kid, you learn everything every day, right? But like now, I learned a lot just then.
Okay.
Well, so like what if our stories are more like this? Like when
Dude.
people are just getting stabbed, it's like, oh, you got stabbed. That sucks. That person's crazy. Sucks. Crazy. Crazy sucks. Moving on.
How do you know this one's going to be bad?
I can see in your eyes this one's going to be bad.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Prove
maybe
me wrong.
All right. So this one's a heartwarming story. Oh, look, there's a little spider. On my...
Your definition of heartwarming in the Dark News podcast is someone getting
Well, look,
stabbed in the
I
heart.
have a little spider right here. He's gonna.
Oh, perfect. It's perfectly fitting.
I'm not kidding. Literally.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Look,
Is
see?
it going to stab someone in the heart and you're calling it heartwarming?
So this is about crowdfunding
Okay.
and a sub. So this
Which is
Peter-
hilarious, by the way, dude.
Peter Madsen,
Yeah.
he crowdfunded the largest private sub ever.
It sounds like trouble, dude.
What
What kind of prototype did he have for that?
He is a self-taught aerospace engineer.
But the prototype was zoomed in his like bathtub. It's like, I'm gonna make this full size. I just need 5 billion. Yeah, this looks cool.
He didn't even need that much. He's a entrepreneur, and he started 2 private rocket startups.
Okay.
Peter Madsen's UC-3 Nautilus is, as I said before, the largest private submarine in the world. It cost to get it to the point where it could go 20 feet under, 400 feet underwater, which is not a lot, but maybe 40 feet underwater. 40 feet underwater.
Yeah, 400 is pretty decent.
Yeah, 330 feet is how much it could go underwater.
Okay. That's max.
Max. It cost 200,000 euros to build.
Well, that seems really cheap.
Yeah, doesn't it? And it was 32 tons.
Now, is this like a Hunt for Red October kind of sub, or like I mean, what's a pop reference we can use for like a legit submarine?
It looked like a Hunt for Red October. I've seen the picture. It looks.
It's not like a Captain Ron
no,
duct tape submarine.
No, it looks legit.
Okay, how is it that cheap? That doesn't make any sense. Actually, that doesn't make any sense.
He's effective.
But like a nice car, or any nice car is 200 grand, 200 euros. Well, I guess that's a high-end nice car.
Right.
But that's still not that much.
Well, that kind of car can go pretty fast.
Yeah, so it can't go underwater, dude.
Well, this can't go that fast, but all right. So just to give you an idea of how big this is, and this little spider's really got it.
I also want you to know that I think your logic sucks right now.
Why?
Because a car can go fast, it's even close to the same conversation of a massive Hunt for Red October size submarine
that, a really nice
that can
car.
go 340 feet underwater. That's like a crazy technology. That doesn't make sense.
The spider's midair.
The spider is threatening you. Oh, dude, get that the fuck away from me. Oh, my God.
I just put it on Ben.
Ben. Yeah, but Ben's on me, so this is like...
Look,
like
he's right here.
We got
he's
a
right
good
there.
night. It's like a good night moon moment in real life. Ben, I love you, but get away from me. Please jump off me. No, I can see him. He's climbing. He's gonna bite your cat. Ugh.
It's such a teeny tiny spider. He couldn't even bite us.
I hope everyone listening can feel the emotional roller coaster we're riding right now, because otherwise this is really annoying for them probably.
Okay.
Ben,
so all right.
Ben. Thank you.
So the UC-3 Nautilus, it could hold 8 people while cruising on water.
Okay, now we're talking. 8 people. So
right.
It's tiny. Dude, Hunt for Red October had like 160 people.
Right.
Well,
I mean, this is what it looked like.
Dinky. It's tiny.
Well, I mean, look at him.
No,
I mean,
it does look pretty big, actually.
I mean,
I'm
pretty.
so confused.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
that's
reference here.
All right, but that's him. That's the person right on
Right.
top.
So
We're looking
now,
at a picture of the UC-3.
And my interpretation
Nautilus.
of this picture is more like a random sub that you would see while like Googling houseboats in Sausalito on Craigslist.
Okay, yeah. But this
it's
is
like a handmade janky kind of thing.
But that one looks legit, right?
No, I'm referring to this one. It's not like not legit, but it doesn't look like it's like this new badass sub. It looks like this guy just like snagged an old sub.
But it looks legit.
Right, but it's like he's trying to refurbish an old sub with some harebrained idea, which is why it's not like $10 million, which is what it should be. Okay. If you were to Google what does a submarine cost, I would bet hundreds of dollars it's over $2 million.
Hundreds of dollars.
Yes.
Well, feel free to Google. I'm going to continue telling the story because we've gone on enough segues. So anyway, it can hold 4 people on submerged trips. And that's all the way to 330 feet underwater.
Okay.
I think it's a fairly cool thing to build.
No, that's cool. It sounds more like the sub from...
And the fact that it can do that and it was crowdsourced, I think that's like,
So it's been built because my...
Yeah, no, that was it.
Oh, wow.
That was it cruising through the water.
Did someone die on it? Because I wouldn't be surprised.
So Kim Wall is a 30-year-old respected journalist who thought it was very cool. She's been all over the world. She's reported for CNN, Wall Street Journal, like all these major outlets. She wanted to get the story about this guy who made this ship and like talk about the inventor. What?
I have a question.
Your hand is raised.
Segue. I'm just going to say
Segway is the small thing where the guy and the inventor fell off the cliff.
I quickly Googled cost of submarine,
Uh-huh.
and I quote, this is 2014, but bear with me. U.S. Navy orders 10 Virginia-class submarines at a record cost of $17.6 billion.
But that's like,
The deal
look up
ensures a
private
continued
submarine. Look up private
cost
submarine.
of private submarine.
Yeah.
I mean, still, dude, 200,000 euros versus 1.5 billion.
Okay,
So reporters on the sub. No,
Right.
reporter wants to go on the sub and tell the story.
yeah. So Pete met up with Kim and at around 7 p.m. Then she was dropped off at 10 p.m. at the Harbor Restaurant, and then he headed out of sight because he wanted to test some more things. And that's when things get a little weird. And by a little weird, I mean a lot weird. Peter said that...
Peter's the inventor, dude.
the inventor, it was
Okay.
his sub. He was
Yeah.
taking her out for that article and for the story. He said they had a minor blast problem. When he tried to repair it, what happened was the ballast caused the UC3 to sink. He was able to get picked up by a private ship. He was taken to shore where the police were already looking for him because Kim Wall's boyfriend had reported her missing and was
jeez.
concerned.
How long had it been?
Not even 24 hours. But she called him like every night when she was on assignment.
that's significant.
The ship also did not respond to multiple hailing requests, although when the ship started to sink within minutes, he started responding to the calls. So this is the next day he started, like they finally tracked down the ship, and the ship started to sink. A restaurant owner said that the area was well covered by CCTV, and he gave all the footage to police. Now, I updated this because you weren't able to make it last week.
You throw that dig in there?
Yeah, just a little something.
Was I not here last week?
Yeah, you weren't here last week.
Oh.
Yeah, we were supposed to do it.
But this
Yeah,
is
the
this week's
emergency.
show.
Well, I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
no, my friend. Yeah,
Yeah,
friend
okay.
Thing.
Yeah. So anyway, at that point they were still looking for her, and Peter Madsen tried to explain what happened on the trip. He said that he dropped her off. There's nothing that happened that was even slightly like she's probably somewhere by the restaurant, is what he said.
This is 24 hours later.
Yeah, 24 hours later. Police said that they actually went out, recovered the sub. When they picked up the sub, they said that it appeared to have purposely been scuttled.
Dude.
Yeah, he sank the sub.
This is like movie material.
Yeah. Peter is described as a crazy professor with poor social skills and is often arguing with people. At that point, he was charged with negligent manslaughter.
How do you tell? I mean, I guess that's a forensic thing to tell if
Right.
something's scuttled. You can just see if it seems like it was from the inside or something.
I'm sure there was apparent damage.
And they still haven't found the woman.
Okay. So since the story happened, what do you think has come to light?
How long are we talking here?
A week.
This happened a week ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It was fresh news when
I-
we missed the podcast.
God damn it. I would think they found a body and he like killed her and scuttled the sub, and maybe he's not like a vicious evil person, but he was just like trying there's something, the fact that he had a 200,000 euro sub is like very underpriced and it wasn't working and it killed her somehow, and he tried to cover it up because he's like a crazy scientist and he's more worried about the technology than he is like humans.
That's pretty good. Assumption. So the details of the investigation under Danish law, and by the way, this is in Holland.
Beautiful place.
Beautiful place. That's where I got my Van Moof bike. which is in the garage.
Nice.
But
Yeah,
I
thanks
love.
for pointing at the wall.
Well,
I mean, I get it. I guess the garage.
I'm
is
pointing
over
more
there.
to.
All right, let's not talk about bike challenges here. My bike sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
No, you just said yeah.
No,
you were
I-
trying to say yeah, but
I-
under your breath, your
I
instinctive reaction was yeah, it does.
No,
No,
I was,
that's what you said.
I was saying yeah because it was through the wall. I was answering another. I'm a little
Well, it's
slower.
funny you were looking at my bike. When
No,
you
I was
said,
looking
yeah,
at your bike, and
after
I was actually
said
like,
my bike sucks.
I was actually looking at your bike and realizing it's a Marin, which is actually a really good bike and one of the ones that I looked at.
Really?
Yeah, Marins are good bikes.
I didn't know that.
So whatever, but your tires are bunk as shit. What the fuck's going on there, dude?
I read it a lot, man.
Yeah, you ride it a lot.
Yeah,
Apparently,
dude, they wear down.
yeah.
You
What?
mean you talking about the scrapes?
Yeah. What is that, dude? Jesus
Dude,
Christ!
it builds character, bro.
Literally, just so you know what we're talking about, is on the back side of his. You know when the cords are exposed on car tires, it literally looks like there is like a small animal just bit the back off of his tire.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah,
That is pretty bad.
yeah.
Wait, do I have like a popped tire?
It looks like you have some shit going on that part. Anyway,
Oh, Jesus. I could have died on the ride home.
Yeah,
Glad we noticed this.
yeah, just saying.
Not even kidding.
Yeah,
It's like part of my tire is shredded.
yeah. It's like shredded.
Oh, God.
What are you doing, dude?
See, this is what the Danes do. They build such a fine craft that it shows our weaknesses that then save ourselves from our
Back
selves.
to our story outside of segways, which apparently we do a lot. This is a
Those usually
podcast.
have good tires.
This is a podcast about segways, and you know what? I'm going to give you some more cord.
Oh,
I know.
see again another
Should we-
phrase.
should we-
Another phrase that without proper reference can definitely be misinterpreted.
Should I give you some whiskey too? Should we?
Nope.
Nope. Nope. Not after last week.
Not going there.
That was pretty fun. All right. Anyway, so according to Danish law, everything's sealed under what they call closed doors because they do not, unlike the American police department, they'll come out and have briefings.
Right.
Danish law, they do not do that at all. Everything's under closed doors, and then they will sometimes things will get leaked out.
So in the past week, no one has an idea what's going on, or something got leaked.
The police department did release a statement, and this is their statement. The defendant has explained to the police and the court that there was an incident on board which caused Kim Wall's death. Consequently, he buried her at sea.
Dude, I was right.
No defined location in the Bay of Cog. And Copenhagen police may additionally disclose that the preliminary charge of manslaughter is upheld. The investigation of the case is still underway and covered by closed doors, which is that law, and no further information can be given. But then guess what washed on the shore?
Oh, Jesus.
Today, a headless, limbless body of a woman washed up
There's the dark news.
on the shore. And there's not a mass amount of crime in this area, so they're pretty sure it's Kim. But they're using using her family's DNA to compare with Kim's. Seems like quite an incident for her to lose her arms.
Yeah,
head,
it really
and
does,
legs.
doesn't it? So now he is like a freak and he killed her and chopped her up. Is that what we're getting at?
I think that's where we're going with this.
Damn it, dude.
But we'll touch base with this.
So that's all this is
That's
the
what-
end.
that's the
Headless, limbless. And,
Yeah, that's the end.
Great. Okay.
Is that happy? Do you want to look at a hedgehog for a little bit?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Can you pull up a hedgehog, please?
Yeah.
That's
So-
yeah.
So that's kind of where it is right now. Pretty good story.
Great. Yeah.
Does it make you feel better? Want some gum?
Can I have anything right now, really?
All right.
So dude is absolutely crazy. Probably.
He's crazy.
I mean, oh God, why am I even talking about this more?
Yeah.
What a great thing to be doing, chewing gum while talking on the radio. What are we thinking right now? This is the dumbest thing.
It's a terrible idea. We shouldn't be doing it.
I feel like there is with a cheap ass, I might add,
Right.
proving my earlier point still. This whole article is proving my earlier point. I like to point that out. With this cheap as shit sub, I do think that is one of the random possibilities I know crazy scientist who cares about like the things that he builds. Like he probably thinks of the sub as his baby. You know, there could be a propeller that like did something pretty bad. Are you all right? You good?
I might have
Too much gum?
too much gum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Why don't you chew it into the mic more? It's the first thing they teach you in broadcasting school.
Fine.
Yeah.
Screw you.
Well, it's good that our fresh breath can be heard so well.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't think it. The sub had gone on several other missions, so I don't think there was anything wrong with the sub. It clearly looks like he scuttled it. It was actually had been profiled several other times as been a very seaworthy craft. So
What? But like, all right.
So
I mean,
it may have
crazy
been-
people are crazy, and that's the problem with these. Like, we're trying to analyze a
But the
nut
other-
job, but like, where did this come from? The dude's built his dream thing. He's showing it off,
And it's about
why
to
does
get
he kill this
profiled.
woman?
makes no sense at all.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah. So we'll.
I mean, it's either the crazy thing or it's something else.
Yeah,
Either
we're-
way, he killed her though. Like, who cares?
Yeah, it's something weird happened. Like maybe he made an advance at her, she denied him, he blew up, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but whatever happened, we're gonna find out more kind of as it develops. But it's only a week old, so we'll find out more,
That's interesting.
and we'll kind of keep abreast
Yeah.
of it. And speaking of keeping abreast of things. One of the things we talked about on the previous podcast is seeing kind of where cereal is now.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to be excited about this.
Oh, you got an update?
I
This is
do
great.
I do have an update. Ben is now in front of our live podcast. Just
Just making sure it's working.
Yeah. All right. How about you get down, bud? Play with the glasses on the ground. So yeah. If you don't know anything about cereal,
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
yeah, you might want to turn this podcast off now if you probably haven't already about our rambling. But this the serial podcast is about Heyman Lee in 1999 and her ex-boyfriend Adnan Syed. He was accused of the crime by anonymous phone call, and this is kind of serial follows it all the way through to
It's
his
amazing.
inevitable consequences. So listen to Serial, turn us off, come revisit it if you haven't listened.
Yeah. Everyone else continued on.
Yeah. So the whole murder is documented, and a brief summary of the trial is that his attorney, Christina Gutierrez, represented him, and because of the mistrial, or because of she being called a liar by the judge and the whole jury hearing it, he was given a mistrial. The second trial, he was found guilty of murder and sentenced to life plus 30 years. His attorney ignored 2 alibis for Adnan, and they actually placed him at the library at the exact time of the murder.
Yeah.
And this girl, Asia, tried to explain some of the issues of this, but one of the problems is that she had written him a letter after he had been arrested that said, I will try my best to help you account for some of your unwitnessed time and unaccountable time.
Wait, I don't remember this. Is this new info, or was that in the original?
Yeah, this is.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
They found a letter from her that said, "I'm going to like create an alibi for you."
that's what they're alluding to. But like, if
Whoa.
you read the full letter,
Yeah.
that's just a statement from the line.
Okay.
That the
Out of context, or
no, it's not out of context, but she's like basically saying like, I know I was with you at the library
Right.
during this time,
right?
and I will help you account. I will do my best to help you account for this time.
Got it. Okay.
But when they just take that snippet
So
out,
it is a bit out of
yeah,
context.
it is out
Yeah.
of context. So the judge said that it sounded like she was offering to lie for him, and threw out the first appeal that he had. Several podcasts and books have looked at it since 2014. Even one of one of them refutes Adnan's interview or Adnan's innocence, and they actually interviewed Jay, his buddy.
Right.
Um,
Which is potentially the other person who maybe
exactly.
did
A lot of people think Jay is potentially the other person responsible.
because Jay is the key witness, basically, who calls him out,
Exactly.
like for killing her.
And he denies being the person who made the anonymous phone call, but he said that Adnan told him, "You've got to help me, or I'm going to tell the cops about all the weed and shit that you're selling." Because Jay was actually a drug dealer,
Right.
but really small-time drug dealer. And then he said Adnan popped the trunk. He saw Hayes' body. He said she looked kind of purple and blue with her legs tucked behind her. So he's basically putting it all on Adnan. So anyway, Serial's back.
What do you mean it's back?
They're
There's
going
a
to
new,
do.
there's a new season?
They're going to start a whole new serial
What?
all about Adnan and
Like
kind
an
of
update.
update. He's been granted a new trial based on not being
Whoa.
not being able to talk to AT&T and question them about cell tower data.
Okay.
And
So they feel like there was enough information there because that was a big part of the initial season, which is that it wasn't. There was certain voids in the cell tower. They were using the cell tower data to show where he was, and it lined up pretty well with Jay's story. But then they found holes in it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the big thing is that his attorney had talked to a cell tower expert, and the cell tower expert said that many of the tower's clocks are off. So the time isn't even right on where they are at what time.
Right.
And
so that's how they got a retrial, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Or an appeal. Or is it a full retrial?
A full retrial.
Wow. When did this news come out?
No, it would they're going to follow him through the retrial, which would determine if his conviction should be overturned.
Okay.
And hopefully it has the same intro.
And is that another? Does that mean it's another jury trial?
It could be. That's up to them to
they
decide.
don't know yet. Okay.
So,
wow, man, this is big.
They can ask for a jury trial, or they can ask for a judge deliberated trial.
Yeah.
So the judge will just hear the facts instead of a jury determining whether or not it's true.
Wow.
So,
So who presented this? It was. Remember there were those. I forget the name. There were like a couple lawyers with their law students who were like looking into some of the alibis, maybe, and maybe that was the first appeal, or were they the ones who brought this about, or is this more general?
No, this is still the same. This is the original crew that did Serial.
Okay, got it.
And it was kind of a combination of people who were donating their time, an Innocence Project, and then also since then a bunch of attorneys have started helping him.
Dude, crazy.
So
where are they now?
Exactly.
Or as Justin Bieber says, "Where are you now?
Right.
That I need you." That would be a cool theme song if we could cover royalties, man. If we did more of the "Where Are You Now" stuff. Yeah, it's a Bieber song. Diplo, Skrillex. Why are you looking at me like that, dude? You know this song's a great song. I'm not saying Bieber's the greatest singer. I'm just saying it's a really good song. Sorry.
I was just waiting for you to do a Justin Bieber version of the Vomiting Rainbows intro.
Do blah.
Where are you?
Where are you, blah? That I need you. He actually has a good voice. I wish. No, I don't wish I were him. I wish I could sing like him.
Tell us more about Joe's dreams. This is Vomiting Rainbows.
And on this episode of Vomiting Rainbows, Joe's dreams.
Joe's dreams. What are your hopes and dreams?
Okay, so Serial. That's awesome. That is cool, man. That's such a good show. Season number 2 with Bo Bird was cool, but like not as interesting, and really didn't like close anything up. As did season 1 Serial, but it was interesting. This will be great. So it's season 3. This is like season 3 of Serial.
No. This is there was only season 1, and then season 2 was a different
Bo Bird Dog.
Yeah, it was a different topic.
Yep.
So this is them going back and that one actually didn't do very well.
No, it wasn't that good.
It was terrible. But then this one I think will do extremely well.
But it's season 3.
Right. And who was the woman?
Well, I forget her name. She's awesome though.
Yeah, she was really good.
She was really. I mean, she was maybe ever so slightly biased, but fairly unbiased, and left like the options of all sides being open, and it was smart.
Yeah. So anyway,
Very inquisitive.
So they're
mind.
they're actually doing that now, and he actually was on TV the other day, like waving and giving a thumbs up because when he came out of the courthouse to get for the retrial.
So has it already happened, the retrial, or it's happening right now?
No, he just got approved for the retrial. It's probably, I don't know how long this takes.
So yeah, they're not probably gonna do it for real time. It's gonna be a year after that happens, then the serial will come out probably, or maybe they will do it.
Either that or they're gonna start 6 months in or something like that.
Got it. Cool, exciting.
It'll be really exciting.
Yeah.
So Heyman's family says. Although they were no part of the original serial, they said that they have seen justice done, and they do not want to have to go through this nightmare again.
And that's totally fair. I
Right.
mean, they're the ones who have to deal with more than anybody. I mean, Adnan, granted, though, if he is innocent, I mean, you got to give him the chance, right? But that's got to be brutal on the family of the girl. That's so hard to deal with.
So,
but I don't know.
It's been an hour. Do you want to do one quick bonus?
I mean,
this one.
Don't we have to save that for next week? Or an hour, dude? We don't want to break into triple digits. This is dangerous territory.
It's dangerous territory. But
people are going to download this whole freaking thing.
Yeah, but this is just for you to make you feel.
Can you do a micro machine speed read on this?
I can.
All right.
You ready? This one's really short. So in St. Augustine, Florida, a fisherman on the St. Johns County Pier felt a tug at his line. And guess what he saw on the other side of his line?
What?
This is a dark news podcast.
Yeah, no, I know. And it's great that after those great, exciting news about a new series of maybe a wonderful, innocent thing, what was on the other side of that line?
Alexandra Turner, 22, looked up at him, yelled at him, immediately bit the lure off of his line and swam off.
Wait, there was a person?
A 22-year-old drunk girl was at the other side of his line, pulled on it, yelled at him, and bit the lure off, and then swam off with it.
She wasn't like hooked.
No.
That's dangerous. You imagine underwater grabbing a fish line that has a hook at the bottom?
Yeah, he said
having it not like slice your hand?
He just said that it was so he had to grab I'm guessing he was just sitting there and just watching it. And he thought
but there's still a hook, dude.
Yeah, but I'm guessing that she pulled so hard that he had to run and grab it because it was going to go over the edge.
Was she in scuba gear, or was she just like wearing like swim shorts?
She just in a bathing suit.
Who is this person?
Alexandra Turner. I'll show you a picture.
Does she have like a YouTube series? Like what's happening here?
She was just a drunk girl. They're not even sure what she was doing.
This is great. This is going to be a thing. It's going to be like, what's the thing where you'd lay flat?
Oh, planking.
Yeah, it's going to be like planking.
Yeah, that would be totally
lining.
Awesome. Yeah, lining.
If lining becomes a thing, may I recommend just like bring scissors and cut off the hook first? Yeah. Otherwise, people are going to be losing hands right and left.
Yeah, well, I don't think you lose a hand, but it'll hurt.
I mean, dude, it would hurt. I hate fish hooks are scary.
Yeah,
I was fishing in Monterey, and it was like little tiny. I don't even remember what they were called. Little tiny fish. We having to like rip the hooks out of their cheeks and stuff.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's no good. Oh, we've hit a sensitive spot for armless, legless, freaking bodies floating around with the Death Dark News podcast. Really,
I didn't say I like seeing any.
No, but you promote telling these stories, and a little hook and a fish. It's too much, huh?
I'm just saying. Anyway,
the weakness. Great.
So she was found shortly after. She refused to return to the pier office. They finally got her near the door to the pier office, and while the police arrived, the pier master said she was disturbing a sense of norm on the pier. So she was taken into... I mean,
that is very true.
Right. She was taken into protective custody while shouting constantly, "I'm fucking naked." And they tried to cuff her. She was later arrested for disorderly intoxication and resisting arrest without violence.
Interesting.
Which was just interesting.
Yeah. Good for. I like this woman.
See?
Yeah. That's good. All right, cool. We're good.
See?
We're making. This is progress, man.
Yeah. See, that was your hedgehog.
Progress.
I'm just saying that's where we're going in the future. This is So anyway, find us on We Vomit Rainbows on all social media. Rate, review this. Give us ideas. If you don't like all the segues that Joe goes into, I can shut him up a little bit. We can,
What? Let's not lead the witness.
I'm just saying.
Give him a chance to be.
Listen to it. Review us on iTunes, Google Play. It helps us out. Gets us followers. We're also on Stitcher. Thank you very much.